What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to try to do some live action comparison between Bianca and Alpha in Pancake as far as which of these teams is actually going to be better to try to get the best score possible in the least amount of time. Now, with this kind of video, I'll probably end up doing some editing because, depending on the orbs that come out, depending on my gameplay, it really depends on how good a run I get. And I do want to get, as close to a good run as I can, so at least that comparison is somewhat fair between these two teams that we're going to be using. And obviously, one team's going to be centered around Bianca and one team's going to be centered around Alpha. With Bianca, it's just going to be Bianca, it's going to be a Chrome, and it's going to be Triple S Liv. And then for Alpha, it's obviously going to be Alpha, and it's going to be a Kamoy, and it's going to be Triple S Liv. Lux for Bianca, Eclipse for Alpha. And as far as the builds, the Livs are pretty much, they're just going to have all their debuff and buff memories on them. With Lux here, she's going to have all the buff and decreased elemental resistances, and then we're going to use the 5-star weapon. And then with Eclipse here, we're going to switch out her weapon here, and then we got all the buffs and debuff memories for your physical attack. And then we'll be running the 5-star weapon, and also both of my Livs are at Triple S. And when it comes to Kamoy here, we do have a double S Kamoy. I'm actually going to be running the 4-piece Da Vinci on him with a 2-piece Catherine, along with Triple S Liv Eclipse for Alpha. And then for Bianca, we're going to be using, my S Chrome. So that is one little difference, but it's not going to make a big difference as far as their QT is concerned. And my A Chrome is going to have a 4-piece Da Vinci with 2 Aisna, and he's going to have this 5-star weapon on him. My A Chrome here is going to have a little bit weaker weapon. He's just going to have this little 4-star weapon instead of 5-star weapon that Chrome has. But Chrome's is only at level 25, whereas the 4-star weapon for A Kamoy is at level 35. So, there's a lot of things to think about whenever you're doing this comparison, but I thought for fun, we'd try to do this to see, which of these teams is actually better. And we're going to go against Nozzle. Nozzle is weak to fire, so it doesn't matter if I use lightning or physical, so there's no advantage or disadvantage regarding Alpha or Bianca. And we're going to go against Chaos here and see what we can do. So we're going to start off with the Bianca team. We're going to use Bianca's leadership for the lightning damage increase by 10%, and then the attack of all attack constructs increases by 5%. It's really the best leadership when you're trying to do this. And we're going to see what kind of score we get, and we're going to see how many times it actually takes. Now, with these kind of videos, I'll probably end up editing some of this out because it really does depend on the orbs that you get and my gameplay. So like right now, we have no blue orb. So we'll try it again, right? I need a blue orb in order to make this work. And this is the thing, and if we don't get the one-shot, if we don't get the one-shot all at once, then we have to keep going, right? Okay. And here we go. Now this is a pretty good run. This was a pretty good run. It wasn't too bad, right? It wasn't perfect, but let's see what kind of score we get, right? And this was 2 tries. So 95,680 in 2 tries, right? That's a pretty good score, right? Not too shabby at all. I'm gonna go ahead and write that down so I don't forget. Okay, so I went ahead and just skipped all of that, and now we got the Alpha team set up. Now, there are multiple different teams that you could use. We could use, Nanami on this team. We could use Ayla. We could use different characters for this team, but I opted to use this. That way we're using, both Livs and just one tank for our debuff and our QTE. So I'm just going to stick with A Kamoy for this, but the outcome might be different if we were using a different character. And I do realize that if we were using B Nanami and we're using the blue orb method, using her blue orbs first and then switching Alpha and then using the Frederick set that's on Alpha, which I do currently have, that you can potentially do one-shots, but the amount of RNG and the amount of time it takes to get the perfect run, right? Because it regards your gameplay, it regards RNG with your blue orbs, it can take a long time. I know guys that spend hours. I know guys that spend, 6 to 9 hours trying to get one of those one-shots. So I'm not really trying to do that. I'm going to try to do it in 2 one-shots with Alpha, or maybe if I get lucky, maybe I'll get it within 1. And we're going to go ahead and use Alpha's leadership. So this is going to be my first try with Alpha to see how this goes. I mean, and the thing about, PGR really is, your orbs, your orb management. I mean, there's really a lot that comes into play. So right there, I already screwed up. Yeah, I mean, not really what we wanted. And you're just hoping for the right orb to come out. We're just going to go ahead and use the signature because it's going to end it with all them debuff supplies. And I guarantee there's no way we beat the score. There's no way. There's no way we got 95,000 with that run. Because I've actually done quite a few of these runs already prior to starting the record of this video. But I mean, I did get 93,000, which, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad, right? But it's not as good as 95,000. So we're going to try it again. And again, maybe I'll edit some of this out. I mean, so far I haven't edited any of the runs out yet. But really with Alpha, I'm hoping to get, some red with blue. And we actually did right there, which was really nice. And hopefully we don't get... That was a really good run. Actually, I'm really surprised that we actually got that run. So, I mean, this is 2 runs. This was a pretty good run. Could it have been better? Yes. I mean, it could have been better. I mean, you can do this in 2 one-shots a lot of times. But, I mean, again, we're looking at 93,400, right? So, we've already done 2 runs, and we're still, 2,000 points less than what we did with Bianca. So... let's try it again. Let's see what happens, And this is what it is, right? A lot of times with Pancake, you're trying to do these runs over and over and over, trying to get that damn one shot. Oh, this isn't very good at all. Yeah, I mean, I knew this was a bad one to begin with. I mean, I really don't want 3 blue orbs because whenever you go into the Matrix, it's going to count as... See, that wasn't too bad, right? We did take a little bit of damage there, but that wasn't too bad at all. Actually, I don't think we took damage. I think the depleting effect took a little bit of our life. So, I mean, right there was 94,600, right? And that wasn't a perfect run, but that was almost like in 2 one-shots. So we've already done this 3 tries, but still, it's not as good as 95,600. We're still doing over 1,000 more points with Bianca in only 2 tries. And we've already done this multiple tries. All right, so I mean, it's looking like if you really want to save time, that you kind of would rather use Bianca for this. And again, if you're trying to do the old method where you're trying to, use Nanami, Okay. But again, if you're trying to use the method with Nanami, it's going to be rough. There we go. It's going to be rough because there's just so much RNG, right? You're trying to get the blue orbs from Nanami, and then you're trying to switch. You're trying to time everything. It can be really, really rough. But I'm pretty sure we didn't beat the score. Yeah, I mean, 93,470. And look, we've already done this, what, 4 times now? 4 times, and the best score we got was still over about 1,200 under what we did with Bianca in just 2 runs and on a live showing. So like, I mean, if you're pressed for time, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, Alpha will be better if properly played, and you're patient, and you're willing to do this over and over and over. You're willing to wait for the right orbs. I mean, she will be better. Make no mistake about that. That was a terrible run because I actually hit the wrong button. My bad. That does sometimes happen. And that's another thing, sometimes you might make a mistake. You might hit the wrong button. I mean, that happens really with any game. But it does suck. And really, I didn't get the orbs I want. I mean, really, I want a blue and I want a red, right? I want 3 reds. Because whenever you have your alpha at double S, a 3 red ping will give you 10% more damage. That was a pretty damn good run. I think we're going to go ahead and end at that because I don't want this video being an eternity long. But let's see what we got here. This wasn't a bad run. This is a pretty decent run. So I mean, 94,000. So I mean, obviously you can do really, really good with alpha, but it just seems like if you want to save yourself some time and you have Bianca and you have A Chrome and Triple S Liv, like compared to this team, it's just easier with Bianca, right? It's just a lot easier to be able to do it with her. Now, maybe on Hell, maybe a different story, but on Chaos, with the teams that I have, with the builds that I have, it's just a lot easier with Bianca. But again, I'm not telling you guys that she's overall better than Alpha. Alpha's burst damage is absolutely nuts. And again, if properly played, if everything's timed out exactly right, if everything falls into place like you want it to fall, if the RNG gods are on your side and you got proper gameplay along with that, then yeah, you can do an absolute one shot and you can get 98,000 with alpha and above. But if you're one of those players that just comes in here and you try to do the best you can, you try to get in a good run, kind of like what I'm doing, but you're not trying to do the ultimate one shot, then maybe you'd be better off to use Bianca, especially if you're pressed for time. So it's really up to you. Let me know what y'all think about this little comparison between these two teams. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.